Late Show. I'm so glad you're here. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I just want to start out by saying congratulations to the University of South Carolina women's basketball team, who last night won the national championship. Good for you. Give it up for the female Gamecocks, everybody. Go Gamecocks, I like to say. Of course, this is the women's Gamecock team, or as I hope no one calls them, the Ladycocks. Because I Googled that, and those were not basketball players who came up.
Hey.
Though, I will say, there was some impressive ball handling. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, where were we? We taped this show at 5:30. People at home who don't know this, so we don't know who won the men's championship. As a celebrity, I don't find out till 7:30. But I still want to offer my congratulations. So great job, team name here. Truly, you earned it. You earned it. You wanted it. Truly a Cinderella or totally expected story. Dramatic, super dramatic game tonight. Yes. Yeah, I wish I have seen it. Now, also drama brewing in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, because the Senate is about to vote on Supreme Court nominee and banker getting stoned for the first time on vacation, Neil Gorsuch. But Democrats aren't going to let Gorsuch get confirmed without a fight. Sure, it's a fight they're going to lose, but those are the kind of fights Democrats love. Yeah. I'm not sure if you know what you're clapping for just then. When you get home tonight, watch the joke. I'm not sure whether you knew what I said. Today, Senate Democrats announced they have enough votes to filibuster Gorsuch's nomination. If they do that, the Republicans have threatened to use what's called the nuclear option, which would upset Donald Trump because he wants to be the first to use the nuclear option. Possibly against North Korea, maybe Jake Tapper. So this is going to answer a lot of questions like, are the Democrats going to filibuster? Will Republicans go nuclear? And will Gorsuch go with one of those Ginsburg neck doilies? You're very nice.
It's a nice style.
Really soaks up the gravy when you're eating barbecue.
Right.
I would eat a lot of barbecue if I was on the bench. Now,
I ain't worried about
some are saying there shouldn't be any vote on a Trump nominee until we find out if Donald Trump colluded with the Ruskies during the campaign. Now, up until now, we thought we knew everything that Russia did to help Donald Trump. Hacked the DNC, gave that material then to WikiLeaks, smuggled dolls into our country inside larger dolls.
Trojan horse.
Diabolical. But it turns out the most effective thing that Russia did was change public opinion through targeted social media, because Senate hearings have revealed that Russia hired 1,000 people to create anti-Clinton fake news in key states during the election. And when I say fake news, this is real fake news, not fake news that is real news that Donald Trump just doesn't like. This is made up stuff. There's a difference. It's a fine line.
It's a difference.
You gotta figure out which one of them. You see, the Russians have an internet troll operation that created fake news stories, then spread those stories using an army of Twitter bots in order to fool users into believing misinformation by artificially increasing shares and retweets. Because if enough people say something is popular, I might trust that it's good. It's like how if one person tells me Transformers is a good movie, I might not see it. But if everyone on Facebook is raving about it, I'll go. And by the time I realized I was lied to, Megatron is president. And don't vote for the Decepticons. Do not vote for the Decepticons. Don't do it, John.
Oh, I ain't gonna vote for them.
You cannot vote for the Decepticons.
I ain't messing with them.
No, of course not. It's right there in the name.
Yeah, Deceptor.
Decept, yeah.
And con.
And con.
It's both
None of
in
it's
there.
good. Now, according to one former FBI agent, the Russians realized Trump himself is really susceptible to fake news. So these Russian government trolls tweet at President Trump during high volumes when they know he's online, and they push conspiracy theories. Wow. That is
weak.
crazy. That is almost as devious as when Putin put on a blonde wig and guest hosted Fox and Friends. Yeah.
I remember
like
that.
her.
Think?
I like her. She's good. I don't know who that is, but I like her. Plus, there's huge news from former national security advisor and dad who told you not to touch his model airplanes because they're not toys. Michael Flynn. On Thursday, Flynn offered to testify before Congress in exchange for immunity from prosecution. That looks bad for Trump. Not as bad as making Mike Flynn national security advisor, but still not good. So the question is, what does he know about Donald Trump? And how could it be worse than what we know about Donald Trump? And I think the pressure is starting to get to Donald Trump here, because here he is at the beginning, what is this, Friday? Here he is Friday at the beginning of an executive order signing ceremony.
You're going to see some very, very strong results very, very quickly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
President, today with your tweet, were you trying to tell the Justice Department to grant immunity to Michael Flynn? Were you trying to do that, Mr. President? Was that your intention, Mr. President, sir?
Thank you, President.
Mr. President, was that your intention, Mr. President? Was that your intention, sir?
Thank you, President. Thank you, guys.
So you didn't sign them?
He did not sign them.
You did not sign them.
He forgot to sign the executive orders. You can't. He just walked off. He forgot to sign the executive orders at the executive order signing. That's the entire reason you're there. It's like going out to dinner and then ordering just the check.
I ain't worried about the food.
But it's been a busy few weeks for the president. Every day he gets to work, rolls up his sleeves, and gives a new job to Jared Kushner. So far, Kushner is in charge of brokering Mideast peace, negotiating the wall with Mexico, tackling America's opioid epidemic, fixing the Department of Veterans Affairs, handling diplomacy with China, and dyeing the eggs for the White House Easter egg hunt. I'm worried this might be too much for one guy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
He might need some help. You know, a backup son-in-law. Tiffany, no pressure, but hook somebody. And this weekend, Jared Kushner's to-do list got a little bit longer when he made a surprise visit to Iraq. He wanted to go somewhere with less sectarian violence than the White House. Kushner had to make the trip himself because the State Department is a total mess. They haven't even hired a spokesperson yet, and this is true. So the State Department has had to cancel their daily press briefings, which have been a fixture since the Eisenhower administration. Of course, back then, the spokesman was Howdy Doody. They do have some people working for the Trump administration because on Friday, the White House made public the financial disclosure forms of about 180 staffers. Do you want to guess which White House staffers' financial disclosures were not included? I'll give you a hint. He's the father-in-law of the most important man in the government. The documents revealed that Trump advisor Omarosa received a $25,000 wedding dress for appearing on the TLC show Say Yes to the Dress. No word yet on the money Sean Spicer had to report for his appearance on Toddlers and Tiaras. Now, this good. He's a crowd pleaser. The disclosures also show that Spicer owns several rental properties, and you think your landlord is a liar. Sean, our water heater is broken. No, it's not. And frankly, it's appalling you would even question the temperature of the water. The water has been phenomenal. It is the hottest water in the history of this country, period. Stop shaking your head. Stop shaking your head. A judge just ruled that Trump can be sued for inciting violence against protesters at a campaign rally. Although, I'm really more upset that he incited voting. The case centers on a campaign rally in Kentucky when protesters were thrown out after Trump yelled this.
All right, get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Get him out of here. Get him Get out. Get out. Get out. Get him out of here. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out. 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 Out.
It sounds bad, though it is possible he was just describing his immigration plan. Well, get out! Get out! Get out! Well, after the rally, the protesters filed a lawsuit claiming that Trump encouraged violence and that they were targets of racial and sexist slurs, or as Trump calls them, campaign promises. We got a great show for you tonight. Jason Sudeikis.